What do you do for a living? I'm not talking about your job title or your daily tasks. I'm referring to the value you bring, the impact you make, and the contributions you provide. While some of you may easily answer this question, others, particularly those working as middle managers overseeing human resources teams at insurance underwriting companies, may find it more challenging to define their actual contributions. In the last century, the proportion of service jobs has significantly increased, now representing nearly 80% of the workforce, compared to less than a quarter in the past. When we think of service jobs, we often imagine individuals serving us coffee, finding clothing items, or delivering luggage to our hotel rooms. These services, although seen as luxuries by some, undeniably create value, whether it's through a delightful cup of coffee, a stylish outfit, or the convenience of timely baggage delivery without the need for a physiotherapy appointment the next day. However, it is crucial to understand that the service sector encompasses a broad range of roles beyond the obvious ones. It includes everyone from call center salespeople to CEOs. In today's job market, finding a role outside the service sector that doesn't require specialized certifications can be increasingly challenging, a key point to remember as we delve deeper into the topic. At first look, the expansion of the service sector and the accompanying rise in what anthropologist David Graeber referred to as bullshit jobs may appear to be strangely coincidental events. One may make the assumption that in a free market that functions effectively, individuals who bring nothing of value to the table would eventually be phased out, which would lead to the success of businesses that function more effectively. However, the truth reveals a very different picture. In order for us to have any chance of comprehending this phenomenon, we need to travel back in time to the period of Soviet communism. The concept of noble labor, which places an emphasis on the honor and dignity of work, was actively pushed in the Soviet Union. People in the Soviet Union took enormous pleasure in their work to the point where the name Soviet can be loosely translated to mean a workers' council. This, however, caused difficulties in situations in which there was not enough work for everyone to do. In an effort to reach full employment, a number of people were forced to perform duties that were unnecessary. The managers of the factory hired an excessive amount of staff, not just to supervise the workers, but also out of the fear that a lack of employment opportunities would make it more difficult to recruit new workers in the future. This worker hoarding led in jobs that provided no practical value, such as counting inventory of nuts and bolts indefinitely. There are a number of fundamental contrasts between the world as it is today in the West and Russia in the 1950s, but there are also some disturbing similarities. The idea of employment that aren't necessary gained traction with the publication of David Graeber's book on bull jobs. In the book, Graeber outlined 5 major categories of jobs that have become more frequent throughout time. The first category is flunkies, encompassing individuals such as doormen, receptionists, chauffeurs, and assistants. These individuals exist solely to enhance others' egos and could easily be replaced by technology if they are even necessary in the first place. The second category is duct tapers. They are employed to fix problems that could be permanently resolved. For instance, consider an inventory manager with system permissions to update stock levels in a warehouse, a task that could be automated or shared among floor staff. Graeber shares an example of a duct taper whose entire job revolved around fixing mistakes made by a supposedly brilliant statistician. In reality, the star employee was incompetent, and the duct taper had to navigate through bureaucracy to rectify those errors before they caused any harm. Next on the list are box tickers, mindless drones found in large companies worldwide. Their purpose is to create internal company newspapers or plan parties, making the company appear legitimate to other corporations. However, these publications often go unread, serving the sole purpose of projecting a certain image. The absence of an internal newspaper, party planning committee, or culture coordinator might make a company seem insignificant, deterring potential business or talented employees. Now, let's explore the most detrimental category, the goons. These individuals have a negative impact on society, but manage to make themselves indispensable by merely existing. An example is in-house corporate lawyers. Although they don't directly produce anything, not having them can result in significant legal fees for a company when dealing with lawsuits from other companies with internal legal departments. Another egregious example is patent trolls, companies that acquire generic patents and sue other organizations in hopes of out-of-court settlements. Even major corporations participate in this negative-sum game, as seen in lawsuits over trivial patent claims. However, the most damaging category is the taskmasters. They are responsible for overseeing and managing individuals who don't require supervision. Effective management is valuable when coordinating a team with diverse skills. However, having a sales manager oversee a team with individuals with identical job titles is a different story. At best, These managers serve as overpaid cheerleaders, encouraging people to work harder in potentially unnecessary roles. At worst, they become distractions, desperately trying to justify their existence through pointless meetings and the creation of strategic mission statements that accomplish nothing but pull people away from meaningful work. It's important to note that these roles are not mutually exclusive, and some particularly useless employees may embody a combination of all 5 categories. Many middle managers oversee fundamentally redundant departments, existing solely due to hierarchies that inflate the egos of top executives. Now the question arises, how did we end up here? While the Soviet Union created jobs to ensure full employment and honor labor, capitalist systems were supposed to be superior. However, we find ourselves still entangled in bureaucracy. Although companies could benefit from streamlining tasks, incentives are sometimes misaligned with decision makers. Middle managers, like Soviet factory workers, hoard staff to maintain a sense of importance. Just as factory walls were covered in propaganda, LinkedIn profiles are filled with self-serving narratives, highlighting the supposed honor of spearheading projects that achieve little. Moreover, modern workplaces fixate on individuals working a full 40-hour week, even if it means assigning meaningless tasks. Bureaucracy exacerbates the issue. While it's important to acknowledge that countries like the USA do not possess entirely free markets and have laws and regulations governing various activities, companies also play a significant role. Lobbying has led to increased legislation, making it challenging for small businesses to navigate the bureaucracy without accountants and lawyers. This benefits large corporations by inhibiting potential competitors. Is there a solution? As a society, we should embrace the notion that it's okay to work less than a 40-hour week. It's essential to understand that almost all jobs contain some level of bullshit within their daily duties. If it were socially acceptable to say, "Oh, I've completed my work for the day," it would be easier to identify those who contribute nothing. Individually, the options may seem limited. If you find yourself in a role with an excessive number of tasks, you may need to endure it in the short term or explore side hustles during your free time. Alternatively, embrace it. Many individuals take pride in their superfluous yet important-sounding titles, finding ways to navigate through pointless meetings and irrelevant PowerPoint presentations now that they understand the true nature of their work. If you found this video informative, please consider liking and subscribing to continue learning about how money works in the modern world. This was all for today. Hope you liked the video. Let us know your opinion in the comment section below. Stay safe, and we will be right back soon with another video. For more information, subscribe and watch other videos from our channel.